So actually, did you give me the access? I'm not able to see your screen actually. I can see your screen but nothing is happening. Can you click on next here?
Okay.
Can you stop using the mouse one moment for a moment?
Alright, okay.
Can you click on this close button here? Hello?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. And can you go to the My Computer, Start Computer? Computer. Okay. And where did you put the Informatica file, that license file? Huh?
It's in the installation folder on the desktop. The shortcut, yes.
So when you gave this file, did it work actually?
Yes, it did.
It did work?
Yeah, it worked. It's in Key Informatica, yeah.
Can you select this one? Uncheck this one, please. Hello?
Yes, this folder.
No. Can you uncheck this option? Enable HTTPS. Can you?
Okay, alright. Okay.
Okay, click on next. Okay. So from here onwards, you need to proceed as I mentioned to you, right? That day.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. As per the video, you have to go ahead. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So you are able to see my screen right now? No, not yet, right? Share my desktop. Sorry, are you able to see my screen now? Everyone?
Yes, Manoj.
Okay. So yesterday we were doing a sample mapping in Informatica, and Gautam and Abhishek, if you want to, guys, if you want to stay. I still did not create a separate session for you. I'll be doing that today. I was busy yesterday also. So if you can stay, you can stay. Otherwise, you can log in at 8 for BODS. Sorry, 9 o'clock after 1 hour.
Okay, Manoj.
So here, yesterday I was telling you about this simple mapping, how to import the data and how to load the data into the other table which is present in other schema, right? So the pretty simple mapping, which is a direct mapping based on some requirement document I showed you. Based on that requirement document, I was telling you how the requirement specs looks like, and how to create the requirement specs. This is the way you create the requirement specs in real time if you don't know. So these are all things we have been discussing. Today we'll go a step ahead further, and we'll try to learn some new things. So always here in our HR will be the source and STG will be the target in our scenario. Okay. So yesterday, which table did we create, guys? Employees underscore STG, right?
Yeah.
So today we'll be learning something more about the source qualifier transformation. And you all know yesterday we are performing only the inserts. Do you remember that we are talking about? Anyone? If you guys remember, I told that in our mapping we are performing only inserts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are not even creating a reusable task. We are creating directly a task in the task of a session in the workflow itself. So when you are performing only inserts operation, okay, when you do only this kind of inserts operation, if I rerun this, see, already there is data in the file, right? Already there is data in the table. Am I right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So if I rerun this, what will it do? We'll see. What happened?
Fail.
Why did it fail? Because of some error. What error? We have to select this session, double click this session, go to the properties of this session and get the session log. And type E here, E for error. Okay, otherwise you can find error here also. So this error is not an error actually. So we have to find out actual error. Where is it like? E. 1 second. Let me go to the home. So see here, this is the error. What error is it giving? Huh?
Unique constraint void.
You understood now what is the error? That unique constraint is something. Already this particular record employee ID is present in the table. When I try to insert again, it will be a duplicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually our employee table has a primary key, employee STG table on employee ID. If I try to insert the same key again, what will happen? Obviously it won't allow us to insert, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because there is a primary key defined. So this is a common error when it comes when we try to load the table double time when we are doing only inserts. If we perform insert else update, that is different. I will tell you what is insert else update in the coming sessions after 4-5 sessions, not now. So this is the basic error every time you get. So you guys will go on reading the session log, how it works, all these things you will come to know slowly. See, initializing the section, say repository name, server name, folder, all this stuff. It will go on, afterwards it will read the data from the source. See, how is it reading the data? It is creating its own query Informatica. Select employee ID, first name, last name from employees, right? Did we create this? We did not give this ID, this particular query, right, anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
So Informatica is creating. Why is it creating? Because it is reading the data from the source qualifier and writing the data to this target employees STG, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
So let us go to the session log. So after the source, then it will prepare for the data to write to the target. So when writing it, we are getting an error. So that is the reason our session terminated. See, output rows 107, applied affected rows 107, applied rows 107. This is from the source. But in the target, see, target load summary, there are nothing. So how does this session log and how does this Informatica works? I'll tell you a little bit concept here. So this particular, when you run a session here, right click and start task, start workflow from task. Okay, what will happen? Informatica will initialize DTM. It's an administrator concept, but you guys need to know this, at least the concept. DTM. DTM is Data Transformation Manager. Okay, what does it do? It creates reader thread, writer thread, transformation threads. 3 types of threads. Reader for the source, writer for the target, transformation for these things. So it does create 3 threads and it will start the process. So here whenever you run the session, in the session log you will see that see here TTM error log disabled, TTM initialized successfully. Did you see this? TTM means data transformation manager. Okay guys, you understood? So it is the responsible for running the workflows and sessions. TTM is responsible. So it's a very big concept. It's an ocean, that administrative part. You just need to know the DTM. Once the DTM initializes, it creates the reader, writer, and transformation. So if you see here, all these are mappings, right? Hey, if you see here, thread, director thread, mapping thread. So as soon as the DTM is initialized, you are getting reader, writer, etc., right? Did you see that, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are not performing any logic in the transformation, so you won't see the transformation thread here mostly. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now let us go back to our session. So if you guys understood the yesterday's concept, I'm going a little bit further. We are going to learn the first transformation, which is source qualifier. Okay? Source qualifier.
Manoj, one question over here. Now in this scenario, I was trying what you said yesterday as a practice, and so I was trying to copy from the source, which is the contacts from the HR table to the contacts at the STG. And I noticed that there is no data in that table. In that case, also it failed. But what kind of error will it prompt?
You have to check that what kind of error. It might be prompted that the database drivers occurred, like a database connection does not exist. You have to check the session log, because here in the session you might have given wrong connections.
Okay.
You understood my point? See here, if you are loading to some employee table and if you give a $target means what is it? $source means what is it? HR. If I give HR, will it be able to load? No, right?
No, yeah.
It won't be able to find HR table. I will show you an example here. See, $SOURC I gave. Okay, means I gave source only for both. So when I run this, what will it do? Informatica is not intelligent, right? It won't able to find that. See, table or view does not exist.
Okay.
Previously, it gave unique constraint error.
Yeah, got it. No, but as in, what when the data doesn't exist in the source?
Oh, that is not a problem. It won't give any error. It will just read 0 records from the source and write 0 records to the target. Nothing.
Okay, then I guess, because I don't know, because when I tried for, because in that contacts there are no records, and when I tried it for the first time, it failed.
Okay.
And then I did it again, so it was a success. So I was like, no, I don't know. Where was I have to look into it.
Okay. Okay. So coming back to the session, back to the session here, the first transformation we are going to learn is a source qualifier transformation. Today we will concentrate in the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes on the source qualifier and expression if we have some time. So if you guys are able to understand the source qualifier pretty quick, then we will go to the expression. Okay guys? And we will not discuss all the properties of the transformations at any point of time. We will be discussing only the couple of properties, because I will tell you what all we need every time very frequently. All the other things you have to research yourself, because if you go on cover each and every point, it will take a 6 to 8 months of course. Okay, so here in the source qualifier, if I press F1, you will get a help. Automatically it will open the source qualifier transformation. See, and source qualifier transformation is active and connected. What is active, what is connected, I will tell you. So, source qualifier transformation is used when it is a default transformation. When you add a relational or a flat file source definition to a mapping, you need to connect source qualifier transformation. Relational or a flat file source. So, what is relational? Relational is something which is a database, right guys? What is flat file? Files, notepad files, like all those files. So when we add those files to the mapping from here, automatically it will get a source qualifier transformation means you need connect it. The source qualifier transfer represent rows that integration services reads when it runs a session. These are the things which it reads. So for what purpose the source qualifier transformation is used, I'll explain you. Afterwards, you guys click on F1 and read it at home. Click on F1, a window will pop up with the source qualifier transformation. So you can read it later on. Right now, I'll tell you what is the purpose of this. So, in the data warehouse concepts we have been discussing about the different types of sources. Am I right, guys? We have been discussing about the different types of sources, source systems. Our source system can be flat file, Excel file, mainframe, database, Teradata, SQL Server, Oracle, etc., right? So what are these sources combinedly called as heterogeneous sources, right? Am I right? Heterogeneous sources. So with the source qualifier transformation can connect or can be used to join only the tables which are originating from same database. It cannot be used to join the tables or sources which originates from, one is from Oracle, one is from Teradata. We can't use the source qualifier to join. So what is the join, you will understand now. But before going to that details, I will give you a simple example what can be done with the source qualifier as well. So let us go back to the requirement, and here in the notes, okay, notes 1, send, we need only department ID equal to 50 data in the target. Okay. So our requirement changed. Something got changed. So what does this mean? What does this mean? I have to write a query in the source, select star from employees, okay, where TEPA underscore ID equal to 50. Right, guys? Am I right? So this data we have to send to the target. So we have to send only 50 records to the target. So for that, in that scenarios, we can use the source qualifier option. When you double click the source qualifier, you will go to the properties. You will see the source qualifier query, SQL query. This particular option is called as SQL override as well. You click it here, you will get a workspace here to write a query. Here is the place where you write the code. So here SQL override we call it as, and in the ports it has input output. What is input, what is output? If a port is coming from the previous transformation, it is input. If a port is going to the outside transformation, it is output. So it has input and output. But whereas source definition has only input, output, see? No input, right? Nothing is coming from that, right? Did you see that? Input is not checked. So in the target, only input is checked, no output. So that way we'll have different properties. So here in the source qualifier query, I go here and write the query. Click on this SQL override. Click on the SQL override and rearrange it to little bit. And here you will find the source qualifier column names. Here you will find the variables, all those things. These are which are used for the mapping for some advanced mapping logic things. Right now we won't work on this. Employees. So here there is an option called generate SQL file. Generate SQL file. So what should I do? I have to generate. Click on generate SQL file. So it will generate an SQL file. Copy this SQL file. Go to the SQL developer. Paste it. and arrange it. Format. So what did it give? It gave us the employee ID, first name, last name, all the fields from the source qualifier, right guys? It gave this query for all these fields, right? From employee ID till department ID, right? Did you notice? So we have to format this query. This is not correct. This where condition is not correct. So I am deleting it. And what is our requirement? Where employees dot department ID equal to 50. So when I run this query, I get only department ID 50. So now I copy this query, okay, and I have to put it here. And click OK. So now when I run this mapping, only department ID 50 data will come from here to the next transformation. Understood? Did you get my point? So now you see the difference. Again I will generate SQL. I will click on generate SQL now. See, I want to tell you the source qualifier transformation, what are the options. So I delete this, generate SQL file. From where did it give? From employees.employee ID to department ID. So see, in case if I delete this department ID port, okay, and go to the properties, click on this and click on generate SQL file. So till manager ID only it gave. It did not give the department ID, right? See why department ID is not going to the next transformation. So source qualifier transformation generates the query based on the outgoing ports from the source qualifier to the next transformation. It will include only those columns or those fields in the query. So now I have here all the fields. So I leave the query as usual, where department ID equal to 50. Okay. Now go to the session. So you have changed something in the mapping. So for that to reflect in the session, in the workflow manager, disconnect this folder and reconnect it. So now go to the properties, mapping, source qualifier, and check whether that query is present or not. See, the query which you have written in the mapping level here is reflected here. What you wrote is reflected here. So this is also called as SQL override. You can also write the query directly here instead of writing it here. But it is not a good practice. You have to always write the queries in the mapping rather than in the directly here. So whatever you write in the mapping will be reflected here. Understood? So this is the source qualifier query. Now we already have the data in the target table. If I rerun the mapping, what will happen? It will fail. So I have a truncate target table option here. So I will select this option, okay, and run it. What will happen when I run this? When my Informatica session runs, it will truncate the table before loading the data. Which table? The target table. So now I run the start workflow from top and it failed. Why did it fail? We have to see. One second. This is source. This is target. Let me check the target table once. So let me manually delete. So I deleted the data manually. Now what will I do is I remove this truncate table option here. Oh, okay. Okay. So that was a problem, I think so. One moment. So now it succeeded. There was some problem, okay? It was not a big deal. So how many records are there for the employee ID equal to 50? I deleted the records and I loaded the records. So there were 50 records, 45 records for the department ID equal to 50. So let us go to the session log and look at the session log. See, after the DTM is initialized, it was reading this query. It was preparing the insert statement, insert into employees, blah blah blah, values, and this is the source qualifier query which we have written it. Select something blah 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 from 50, and based on that it fetched the 45 records and it loaded the 45 records. Understood? Did you get my point? Okay, so there is another option here. In that way you can even change it to any query. Like you can also write a manual joins here in the source qualifier query. Like if two tables are originating from the same database, you can write a manual joins in the source qualifier query here. You can also write join multiple tables. You can give the where conditions, etc, etc, etc. So now let us keep the 50 as usual. Okay, let us keep the 50 as usual. Suppose recount. Red. Darling. Yeah, fine. Rari. So sorry guys. Okay, so here in the employees, right now, what am I doing is, my query is already present as 50, right? Now I change it to 40. Okay, now I changed it to 40. So I changed it to 40 and I delete the records before loading the data to the target because I don't want to mess it up. Now there are no records in the target. So in the mapping it is 50, right guys? In the mapping it is 50. Whereas in the session what did I give?
40.
Department ID equal to 40. So now when I run this workflow, only one record loaded, but that is fine. For department ID equal to 40 it loaded, right? Department ID equal to 40, where only one record is there. So why did it load department ID equal to 40 even though I have 50 here in the source qualifier? Huh? Why did it took that 40? See, it took the 40. Because always session level SQL overrides or session level properties, these are called as session level properties, are overridden by mapping level. Means whatever you give in the session is the latest one. It will not count the mapping level thing. So you have to be careful in this. So when you change something in the mapping, again next day don't go and change it in the session, and you might get wrong records, and you might wonder why I'm getting wrong record. So always the session level properties are overridden by the mapping level. Okay, so you can always do a revert like this. You can check this and revert. When you click revert, it will come 50, department ID equal to 50 will become back. So see the same conditions like number of sorted ports, user defined join, select distinct, post SQL, pre SQL, source filter, etc. So the same conditions are present here. See, pre SQL, okay, pre SQL, select star from employees, HTG, etc., etc., etc. Right? Same condition. So now we can also use a different way. I created here department ID equal to 50, right? In this present here, department ID equal to 50, I have given it here. So instead of writing this whole query, I can delete this query, okay? And even I can give a source filter directly here, select this, okay? Drag it. One second. Why the hell it is? Okay, you can always select department ID, select that, double click equal to 50 here. So this is also same thing like the query here. But what is the specific use of this option and this option, you will learn eventually. So distinct is when I select distinct, it will remove duplicate records. So pre-SQL and post-SQL, what is thing, I will tell you. So number of sorted ports means it will sort the data based on the sequence. Means it will include an order by. If I select the sorted port 1, see if I select it 1, it will select the first port as order by. If I select it 2, it will select first employee ID and first name in the order by. It will include an order by condition. So you'll also learn that. So I changed those things, and he created the number of order ports, sorted ports, and go to the mapping level, and in the target also you will see the pre-SQL, post-SQL. Before this session we were deleting the data here, right, directly from the target instead of deleting the data through Informatica. So through PSQL and PostSQL, what are the options, I will tell you. See, I can include these two conditions, okay, directly here in the pre-SQL with a semicolon, and click OK. So when I run this mapping, start workflow from task, see it succeeded and it loaded 45 records. Why right now 45? Because I changed it back to department ID equal to 50 here. 50. So when you see the session log, you will see the source qualifier query, see order by is included, right? Where department ID equal to 50 automatically, even though if you select it here. So both options are for same use. It depends upon the scenario which one you want to use, flexibility. So pre-SQL, what does it do pre-SQL? Now coming to the pre-SQL part, you will see the pre-SQL for both source and the target also. See here, sources you see the pre-SQL, post-SQL. Targets you will see the pre-SQL and post-SQL. So in the target pre-SQL I have written some statement delete. So what did it does, we'll see in the session log. So first it initialized the DTM, okay, then it was reading the data from the source, okay, then it was preparing the data to write to the target here. It also had some query, okay. Now comes a little bit scroll down, you will see some option where it deleted the data from the target before loading it. So that option I'll show you. See, source is XEHR, source is user HR, and target user it should mention somewhere. Let me find it. I am not able to search it. Okay. How come it did not show? How come it did not show? Let me rerun this one moment. Okay. Get session log. See here, pre-SQL for the target table completed successfully. Completed pre-SQL. What is that pre-SQL? The pre-SQL is, see, delete from employees STG. See, before loading the data to the target, before preparing the insert statement, it is deleting the data from the target. Delete from employees STG commit. Did you see here, guys? Okay. So, what does the target pre-SQL do? Target pre-SQL performs the operation, whatever we write in the SQL, before the data loads to the target. What does the source pre-SQL performs? Source pre-SQL performs the operations on the source table before the data is read from the source. What does the source PostSQL do? Source PostSQL performs the operation as soon as the data read from the source. What does the target PostSQL do? Target PostSQL performs the operation based on the SQL query as soon as the data is written to the target. This is before, this is after. So now if I select this one, see, copy or okay, and I go to the target and I paste them in the target also. Both I pasted. Now what will happen when I run this task?
0.
0. That's true. Why? It shows 45 records, but why the hell there is 0? Huh?
It deleted everything.
Yeah, I deleted after the PostSQL. So you have to get the session log and see where will pre-SQL is performing here. So where is the PostSQL? Scroll down slowly. When you read the session log, you will understand what is it doing. See, PostSQL here. That's at the end. So the same thing is applicable for the source also. Okay? So that is source qualifier transformation. So you can play around with distinct options with this all this blah 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 or order by ports. You can delete it. You can also write a manual order by instead of using it. No one will use them. Okay? Usually in real time, no one will use these conditions. Everyone are usually write the query because query is user manageable. Means we manage it, right? So it is better to write the queries rather than using individual options here. You can include an order by option directly in the query, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the best way. There are some best practices depends upon the organization. Okay? So that is source qualified transformation. And I don't want to proceed much faster today. So tomorrow we'll be learning the expression transformation. What is active, what is passive, I'll be telling you tomorrow. Okay? If you read the expression, you will understand what is expression. The expression is a passive. When I go to the expression and go to the transformation guide here and read the expression, expression say is a passive. So why is it passive? Why is it active? You will be learning tomorrow. So expression we will be completing it tomorrow. Then we will go to the filter also tomorrow. Try to read the filter transformation as well. Okay guys? Filter also. Okay? Okay guys, so that's all for today. Hope you guys understood this concept of source qualifier. This is very, very important transformation. So eventually I will also teaching you the performance tuning, which is advanced concept, which is needed for the interviews. Performance tuning. Means I will tell you the performance tuning concepts in the session only, like we discussed. It's not a separate session. While we are working on the mappings, I will be telling you performance tuning. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, Manoj, just for curiosity, I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said that, we have to compose the queries for
Yeah.
the condition if we have to. So, in on job as an on project, to what extent we will be, using or compose?
We'll be using a lot of queries, this source qualifier queries. It's not that you don't use, you will be using it at all, a lot.
Okay. So we will be like
Yeah.
working on it like in and out with that.
Yeah, it depends upon scenario. You'll be working on it very frequently. You have to
Okay.
have a good SQL skills. That is the reason I told you the SQL concepts also in the session. No one will
Okay.
teach you SQL in Informatica. People overlook it because they don't want to spend that much time in Informatica. Many people what they do outside market they teach only Informatica tool part. But what I did, we were covering 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks only on concepts. Why? Because tool is you can learn in 2 days. It's not a big deal. Concepts are
Yeah.
important.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you understand the concept, you can learn SQL. You know what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
these all things you will learn eventually. You don't need to worry. You need to understand the concepts first. Data warehouse. So those things I only tell everyone. Learn the concepts. If someone asks you why you are doing this, what is Mart, what is warehouse, I see people who have 7 to 8 years experience don't know what is data mart, what is data warehouse. They do Informatica tool pretty good, but they don't know why they are doing it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay? All right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Manoj.
No
Thanks.
problem. Enjoy.
Yeah.
So, Abhishek, Bajat, Edwin, Rohan, and who else?
Manoj.
Gautam. Yeah.
Thank you,
Sorry,
Manoj.
I forgot. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Saket, you are doing the recording, right? Please don't forget to share me also in the end, not right now.
Oh, okay, sure, Manoj.
Okay.
Okay, sure. I'll share with you all the videos in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Manoj.
Thank you.
But Manoj,
Guys.
there are like in the beginning I haven't recorded couple of videos which include Oracle installation and the SQL. I recorded the videos from the analytical function onwards.
That's fine. That Oracle and SQL is pretty simple only, right?
Oh, okay, sure, Manoj.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Manoj.